How do you feel about hip hop these days?
Um,
Just hip hop in general these days.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's enough of it these days, to be honest. I mean, as far as from an I mean, not an outsider, but if I wasn't involved in hip hop, there's probably not enough of it. I think these days. But in saying that, it's still very, very much alive in each part of the world. I think. I think it's just there's not enough of it, and obviously there's always the bad hip hop that's always around anyway. So I guess what I think of it is that there's not enough of it, and I think it should be celebrated more than hated on. I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
Anyone got anything to add to that?
I think to me the hip hop is there, but I think they don't want to see. How would you say? They like the easy way to say it's hip hop because it's such a cool thing. Being in hip hop is the coolest part ever, but second, there's always the easy step to get into it, and the other one is faking it. And most of the people now either faking it or taking easy step or doing it. For example, to me, is faking it. For example, you wear your cheese cutter, you wear your Nike sneakers. That's faking it. It's not just about that. And easy steps of getting it is to jump into the bandwagon, knowing a friend that like hip hop. Don't really want to know about what is real hip hop, but just want to know a little bit what's famous that time. That's the easy step of getting a hip hop. But the real hip hop in general, because they don't want to be brand. Oh, you only listen to the old school stuff. Oh, that one is boring. Oh, that what they dress up is 1970. But it's not. It's beyond that. It's about like being real, you know, like hip hop stuff, you know, I'm not saying being real, but 100% being real, but at least be as who you are, as close as you can. That's what it is, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nowadays, some radio station naming themselves home of hip hop and R&B. Next thing you know, they're playing Sam Smith because there's a black guy, and that song. And all that, you know, that's to me one example of faking it. But, you know,
I think my biggest thing that kind of pisses me off is that when people call themselves hip hop dancers, and they don't actually live or breathe the life.
Exactly.
Like, and then we as b-boys are kind of the outskirts of what hip hop is. That's how they see it. Therefore, we're always undercharged. We're always the lesser. Rather than we're almost like the pioneers, you know, like of hip hop. So my thing is like when people say they're a hip hop dancer, I'm just like, you're not a hip hop dancer because you don't breed anything with hip hop, and especially community wise. Like, what have you done for community? Like, you know, that's a massive part of hip hop is community.
And then again, that's why I said jump into that bandwagon of faking it, you know.
Hard out.
You know, just because you have a side cap like that. And you go to the studio, but I know, and they don't even go to the local hip hop event. You know, how could you say it's like this? I love Indonesian food, and all I eat is freaking fish and chips. At least now and then, I gotta eat rice with my fish and chips. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. But you know, everyone wanna have like, oh yeah, but I like Wu-Tang. What's her name again? You know, that's what it is. You know? Where's she from? You know.
And I think a part of it too is the knowledge and the history. That a lot of people skip. It's almost like
they don't want to learn it, man.
For an example, like a younger generation getting into b-boy, and you say names and stuff like of pioneers, and they're like, "Who's that?" Or they like, can you do that move like Step Up? You know what I mean? Or can you do a backflip, or can you do a flare? They forget the whole aspect on what it's about, and that's what I reckon is a lack of knowledge and understanding on what it's all about, especially with hip hop. Because nowadays their parents pay for this, their parents pay for that. They don't experience for themselves to go out and get amongst it.
I reckon as well, the way how we tell them, they think it's an attack, but it's not. But they don't want to, like, you know, like. Alright, put it this way. Maybe all of us, if we're going to go out dressed up, there's a hip-hop element to it, right? And then I've seen some people would totally look at you different. Same with artists, you know, they think you as a rapper, you know, you rap, that's not a musician. It's a rap. You're a DJ, you're not using an instrument because it's not guitars. But they don't see it that way, you know, like, it's supposed to be like, hey, you know, like, microwave, for example. That wasn't a cooking, you know, it's not a stove, it's not a thing, but you can cook stuff in the microwave. You know, and you know, it's same with us as a hip hop, you know, just because that's because he danced on his own way how he danced. He wanted. He's gonna rap. For example, the way I is flow, not using the freaking high pitched voice like Mariah Carey. You know, he paint, for example, with a spray can, and then they think to them painting an eye is always about the brush.
Yeah.
Music is all about with the notes. But you know, rap is a freaking music. The turntable is an instrument.
Yeah.
But they don't like that. You know, they don't like that. You know, like I don't know. It's not enough, like what David said. It's not enough yet. They want to shy or want to fake it. That's it.
Yeah.
Or it's people that kind of like teach almost hip hop, but they do it in such a wrong way that the next generation bringing up to be a part of all this misses a massive chunk where they say, you know, it's all about looking good and looking this, and then again, that's why I'm big about the knowledge, because you have a next generation that come up and they don't know jack about anything and get into it, and then they start teaching dance, and they've only been dancing for a week.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
And they're like teaching b-boy workshops, and I'm just like, dude, yeah, you know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And they're teaching, they're getting paid to do it.
More than the actual guy that.
More than someone that's actually like trained.
Yeah,
you
more,
know,
more than the person that taught them.
yeah.
But then again, like I said, you know, like how many of this, you know, how we think about hip hop now, for example, Crashes, right? If I can go to a local event, I'll support local hip hop event. That's done. And all these hip hop cats that I don't know, I haven't seen them, some of them, but yeah, they teaching hip hop class.
Yeah.
How the hell you teach hip hop class? Taking a photo behind people's graffiti artwork, and you know, do you even know who painted it?
Oh, this looks
Well, they say it
cool,
was
it's like
mine.
that.
It's tough as that. You know, it's beyond. You kind of like, you know, and then this exhibition right now, for example, you know, going exhibition. I bet you all the dancers will go there taking a video. Oh, that's cool. Take a photo. Let's go. They wouldn't even know who Soulful is. They probably think Yikes from overseas. They probably think Icarus is a freaking name of a company. This is the guy that's here. They're the one that you're like, man, I want to, you know. But
It's like, you remember that time when we were dancing outside Euphoria? Before we went to Germany? You know, we got sponsored by them, whatever.
Yeah.
And we're dancing, this guy comes up to Jada and goes, and he goes, oh, well, he goes, oh, dancing and stuff, and he goes, yeah, do you know a group called Common Ground? And he goes, I'm in it, and Jada goes, no, you're not, this is the crew here. You know, it's that name drop of, I'm a part of something. No, you're not, man.
that's the hip hop's happening at the moment.
Classic.
Yeah, that is
Keeping
good.
it real.
Yeah, man.
On point.
Stop, what do you
It
say?
doesn't have to be 100%. At least try. You know, try like it. You know, try like it.
Johnny gave it away to every single girl.
Yeah, can I take that?
Yeah. Had the same thing, eh?
Yeah, but Johnny probably gave away all those girls.
Yeah.
Leroy,
Yeah.
if you could say one thing to the whole world right now, what would it be?
I'd say, you know, do your homework and open your eyes to what's real.
Mm.
You know, it's not in the mainstream. You actually have to dig for it.
Mm.
If you want to find it, you have to look. You got to do your homework.
Fine. Nice. So what's your favourite music you're listening to at the moment, Kiza?
Just listen to a lot of James Brown at the moment. Bit of
Oh,
soul and old school remixes of soul on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So we're taking it back to like the 1960s, 70s, like
The real
that's, I love that. That was like every day, like I got that playing, you know.
nice.
I listened to Guy Sebastian in the bath today.
And probably Justin.
I don't know why. He's the man at singing though.
I was in one of his.
He did that.
That's the beauty of it.
He did. See, what did he do? Soul Train in that. He did all that.
Yeah, he's done some good ones. He
That's the
can
beauty
sing.
of it. That's the beauty of it. See, that's one thing about being hip hop. Just because you're hip hop, I mean, you're still allowed to listen to all these other songs, but you know you prefer this one. But it doesn't mean you cannot respect the other song, you know?
Yeah,
I think the big part of it is finding identity in who you are.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the rest is, you know, like you get into it, but it's finding identity on what hip hop's done for you, who you are, and how you express yourself.
Yeah.
Makes it boom, whatever, man. Bring it on. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
as much as there are politics in hip hop,
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, hip hop is a freestyle expression of who
Big
you
time.
are.
Yeah.
So you find whatever instrument you have to make.
That's
your
exactly
expression.
Yeah.
so right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Right. Question for all of yous. Don't know who's going to go first, but who's your biggest influence?
Common ground.
My crew.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This guy called Roy.
And then yeah, my crew is my influence.
Yeah.
And then it branched off to be honest, Christchurch actually, this is what I would say. Christchurch influenced me a lot of the way I think, and second, like it or not, the way I break, the way the breaking, because the fact that I believe that we used to have a studio when it Christchurch, right? But we didn't have much event. So what happened is how we trained in that studio built us to prepare for an event.
Yeah.
Then we have a case of an earthquake. We don't have a studio. So every time we have a studio time, we go hard. Every time there's a spot, we go hard. What happened is we adapt to all this spot, and the way how we feel about the spot is actually always changed. It's so different when you practice in a studio, jam in the park, jam in the concrete. It builds your character, And what happened is you're using your time wisely to go to practice. And like it or not, Davey used to go to practice after finish work, 12-hour shift, 2 hours practice. Go hard. The 2-hour practice.
Crazy hard.
The 2-hour practice for some people, they only practice that in a week. They will practice that in 2 days. So to me, what inspired me, the whole situation in Christchurch. And then it inspired me to make an event, how to make it better, how does the Christchurch people look at me as a b-boy or a break dancer or the guy that's still doing that dance, or that inspired me to be like, oh, I want to still do that. I don't fucking care. To me, my crew, and of course where I am now is Christchurch inspired me. Of course, like people always say, family, all the inspiration from New York. Yeah, that's true. That's how it started. It, but at the moment, on the present time, for talking and b-boying and stuff, it's my crew.
Because it's like almost a community itself as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that a lot of people should. If you have a crew, generally you spend a lot of time together, even if it's not now, it's over the years. So generally you consider that brother's family. So you take advice from each other anyway. So I think if that doesn't inspire you, you're in the wrong crew. I think.
Definitely.
I think
for sure.
we don't always hang out all the time and stuff like that. You grow up, you have a life, you get business, you get jobs, but. If we can come and sit like this and talk and share the same thing, without even being around each other all the time, then that shows you something out there.
And that's the thing what's special with Common Ground, besides a lot of crews, is that it is family. Like in any kind of thing or urban dances you do, there's always that separation, but with us it's always been family from day one. It's 15 years in the making, to what we're doing now. We've all got kids pretty much the size of Jared. But it's that whole family. It's a family thing,
He's been trying.
And that's what it's always been about. That hip hop's always about family, man. Community, family, bringing, like, if someone's down, we lift them up. If someone has got a t-shirt, we give them a t-shirt. That's all part of the culture.
Someone needs a girlfriend, we give a blow up.
We go on Tinder. I've got about 5 stars on Tinder now.